Hi everyone, this is Koinzell here. So Yae Miko is out. I'm very glad to be playtesting her. We have done quite a bit of playtests in the stream, the Twitch stream earlier today. So be sure to check it out if you have not already. In this video, I'm going to focus on comparing Kagura's Verity R1 versus Widsith R5. Let's see how it goes. Before that, let's look at the stats on my Yae Miko with Widsith as well as with R1 Kaguras Verity. So CRCD, pretty decent. Pretty good actually, not decent. This is with R1 Kaguras Verity. These are my artifacts. This 4-piece Thunder Silver. I am using this even in the Electro Charge Hyper Carry comp. Because for the purpose of the burst, this will still apply, the 4-piece Thunder Silver effect. These are my stats. I don't have too high of a ER. So when I do ER, I may have to switch my artifacts around when I do the full rotation. But the full rotation video will come later. We are just doing pure damage comparison. C0, Talents is at 186. That's the highest we can go. With the weekly boss materials being limited. Now if I take food, crit rate food, it will simply be 84.6%. And we are taking crit rate food for the playtest for my sake of my sanity so that I don't need to keep retrying. Alright. Now if we switch to a R5 Widsith, these are our stats. Basically, our crit damage is 252, it dropped by 11%. Our attack also dropped by about 159. You'll see that artifacts are exactly the same, obviously, since I didn't change it. Still C0, still talent level 186. Okay. So let's look at the runs itself. This is Widsith. R5 is Widsith. Let's look at just the E damage. So the highest was 19843. Subsequently, once the buff expires, you will see most of the hits is 7414. Okay? 7414 for most of the hits once your Widsith buff expires. The next will be R1 Verity, Kaguras Verity. $19053. So it's slightly lower than Widsith. But as all the other different types of buffs start to expire, we more or less stabilize at 12727. Let me go back. Yeah, 12727 over here, as opposed to the 714 on Widsith. So the difference is very big once Widsith buff expires. Now, don't worry, I'll tabulate all of this for easy comparison later. Now let's look at our burst damage. Okay, so first off, this is Widsith, as you can see, with elemental damage buff. We managed to get a 96% elemental damage buff, so we'll check that out. Highest damage potential per se. So very nice. The third hit was, or rather the last 3 hits from your elemental, using up your elemental skill on the burst, gives us almost 149k per hit. So that is very good damage. But unfortunately the first hit did not crit. But no worries, when I tabulate the result, I will calculate it based on my crit damage, my Widsith crit damage. Okay. So this is my burst damage. Now let's look at the Widsith without any buffs, because it's gonna happen. Okay, Widsith downtime is 20 seconds, which is very long. You're gonna have scenarios where every alternate burst, you may not have the Widsith buff. So let's look at without Widsith buff, how it looks like. Okay, so you see here is Widsith. It's still Widsith, but no Ele buff because I already triggered it. It's basically within the 20-second downtime right now. Okay.
律流十言風の雲に行くごとみんながそばにいてくれるわイカズチに悪く来光意図美しきかな
Okay, let's check out the stats. If I'm not wrong, this should be the 96%. No, sorry, this is no buff. What I'm talking about. So you see here, there's no elemental damage bonus, there's no EM bonus. Attack is this high because of Meda's buff. Okay, so that's it. Meda and Sarah. So this is Widsith without the buff. You'll notice that the burst damage is much lower. The last 3 hits is only... Let me go back to there. The last 3 hits is only 104624 as opposed to the 148. So it's a huge difference without the Widsith buff during your 20-second downtime when you're using Widsith. Now let's look at the Kaguras Verity burst damage. Don't expect Kaguras Verity burst damage to do more than Widsith though. It's very obvious that it wouldn't, because Kaguras Verity in the first place is focused on her elemental skill. Right, now let's check out that video. Okay, so this time we have Kaguras Verity here. The full is the same, it's just 20 CR. So first hit was 92 plus K. The last 3 hits 118973. So it's obviously lower than with the Widsith buff, but better than without the Widsith buff. Okay. Now let's look at the tabulated results, because I'm sure that's what you guys are more interested in, right? We'll look at the tabulated results and we will reach our conclusion, yeah? Okay, so this is the tabulated results that we have. Elemental skill is at level 8, burst was at level 6, right? So a level 8 elemental skill with Kaguras Verity we had 19053. Widsith with the 96% elemental damage gave us 19843, which is understandable because we are talking about 96% versus 48% with Kaguras Verity. Okay. Not to mention my artifact crit damage stats are already very high. That's why the 11% crit damage, additional 11% crit damage from Kaguras Verity makes a smaller difference. And also the fact that my artifacts have very few attack percentage stats. But you get the gist of it, okay? In the buff and unbuff stage, in both buff stages, Widsith will do slightly more than Kaguras Verity on the elemental skill. But when you reach the unbuff portion, you saw in the video earlier, we were dealing 12727 with Kaguras Verity, but with Widsith we were dealing 7414. Once the 10 seconds uptime is over and you enter the 20 seconds downtime. So 20 seconds of this is a lot, by the way. You just multiply this, just think of it as 5k difference multiplied by 20. That's almost 100k difference because her elemental skill is able to hit every second. So it's almost 100k of difference just from the unbuff portion. Okay. Now this is the elemental burst damage figure. You'll see that Widsith does have an advantage where in terms of total damage it does quite a significant amount more than the Kaguras Verity, 544k versus 449k. But when it's unbuffed, it does lesser than Kaguras Verity, which is expected, right? So there's no surprise with these results here, but maybe let me add on a bit more math just to give a better average view. Okay, so with the added on math, this is how it looks like. Basically, we took a very simple extrapolation, just multiply this by 20, this by 20 in terms of the downtime. We take the uptime calculator, we average out the Widsith with or without buff, and we came to this result. It's about 11% difference, where Kaguras Verity is 11% better than Widsith. Now this is different from my math figure because remember, the quad we have currently here does not follow my rotation. Okay? Because we are just doing very simple damage comparison along with some extrapolation. So the results is a bit different from my math. If we do the actual rotation, that would be a lot more difficult to calculate, but no worries, I'll show you guys when we do the, I'll probably do Inspire Abyss. Yeah, but I'll have to clear this Inspire Abyss because it's just reset and had not cleared it all the way to level floor 12 yet. Alright, so as expected, Widsith gives you more damage within the first 10 seconds of his buff, but once you factor in the long 20-second downtime coupled with the lower damage, it will not be better than Kaguras. 11%. Especially in combat scenarios take up to 30 seconds or even more than that, which will be basically the higher abyss floors and the weekly bosses with gated faces. But that being said, it's still a very strong 4-star weapon, as per both my math and testing, so it is the go-to option for F2P or Dolphins not willing to spend on weapon banner. So I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. Just remember that whenever you see Widsith dealing more damage, it's only within the first 10 seconds. Once you even out the 10-second downtime, Kagura's Verity will be better. Not to mention, on Widsith you need to be very mindful of the buff when it's happening in the uptime. So for a person like me, I prefer having Kagura's Verity so that I don't need to think about it. But that's me. And I was very lucky. I got my Kagura's Verity in like 40 pulls. So it was very worthwhile for me to get that weapon. But anyway, that is luck. Okay, I cannot guarantee that everyone can have the same luck. If you're unlucky, you can take up to 200 plus pulls just to get one Kagura's Verity. It can happen because that happened to my Calamity Queller, which is the signature weapon for Shenhe. Okay, so anyway, thanks everyone for watching. If you like the content, remember that video and click subscribe for more. Next video, I'll do a comparison between C0 Yae Miko versus C6 Fisher, and I'll do 4-star weapon comparison on both. Okay, bye.